welcome back. You're still watching Fut-Afrique, your hub to all things African football conversations. We're talking about the CAF Champions League and Confederations Cup, as we know that we're already in the quarterfinal stages. At this point, it's all systems go. Mamelodi Sundowns, a team that's still competing within the CAF Champions League, Brian, find themselves still in the running for the Nedbank Cup. They're also playing domestic football, and we know that most of their players are going in and out of national duty camp.
Listen, I mean, if this is what the sort of squad they have. They have a very good big squad. I mean, we're talking about the other day to say Sundowns can actually have 3 matches in the same day. With the sort of squad they have, they can play all over. But also very important is the fact that they are the reigning AFL champions. So they know the pressure that comes with this.
A lot.
You know, a lot of people are going to say, AFL, you only had 8 teams playing. They selected 8 teams and they played, you won.
Listen, I backed that win.
The Champions League is the big one.
I backed that win near AFL. Also because that's the big competition that I did. So that win for Mamelodi Sundowns was one that's dear to my heart.
I mean, I know why. For personal reasons, there's an incentive that goes with that one. But I tell you, everybody will tell you, for you to be the champions in Africa, you need to win against the champions of all the leagues in Africa. Let's talk about
Zamalek, right? We talk about Zamalek and let's talk about Al Ahly because they find themselves in different competitions, but they made it to the final of their Egyptian Cup. When it comes to Zamalek, how much of a point, or do they want to redeem themselves by winning the CAF Confederations Cup?
Listen, I mean, Zamalek will be happy with the draw they have in the quarterfinals of the CAF Confederations Cup.
Okay.
They're to let them redeem themselves, to be able to go in and play against Modern Future, a team from Egypt. It's a derby, so people will say maybe anything can happen from that. But also the fact that they missed out of being part of the Champions League itself, playing in the secondary competition. It's not a big, it's one of those you look at and say, you know what, everyone wants to be playing the Champions League for you to be known as the bigger team in your continent, so in your country rather. So it's a big thing for them. If they know that if they can win the Confederations Cup and allow you to win the Champions League, they can meet in a Super Cup and settle this matter once and for all. To say you might have won the cup at home, but it's Africa, we'll show you.
This is when I pull in my very bad cliche, my very bad pun, and I say it's a gentleman discussion that is discussed on the field of play with 90 minutes, with the ball at feet. But Brian, I want to know from you, obviously just in wrapping up this conversation, when it comes to tournaments or any tournament in any sport rather, people normally say don't just show your cards from the get-go. Now we have 2 legs when it comes to the quarterfinal stages of both these competitions. Do you show all your cards?
Advantage are those that play at home the second leg.
Okay.
Because you know already what the result is. You know what the result is in the first game because you play away. If you get a goal on the road, it means when you come back home, you know what you have to do to wrap things up. So it was very important for teams to finish on top. So you're seeded. You're not when unseeded teams is very cagey because you don't know you're going to draw. So if you're seeded, you avoid certain teams in the quarterfinals. But remember when you come to the next round, you already know who you're going to play. You're going to face the winner of whatever game. So there's no seeding story in the semifinals. But the quarters is very important for you to get seeded.
Alrighty. You want to make sure that, well, now at this point you can't choose, right? It is what it is. That's how the quarterfinals of the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup have been lined up. But also, I don't know if you know, but there have been talks about a FIFA Series. Now, the first stint of this competition is set to start this year. And it's somewhat like the guinea pig as to what it's going to be. But for those who don't know, I say competition, but it's international friendlies. So it's not necessarily a competition, Brian.
When FIFA met in 2022, they had a council where they met in FIFA and decided, you know what, they need to try and get this FIFA series. The reason is very simple. There are certain, if you look at the different associations or the different confederations, for an example, you got the AFC, you have the CONMEBOL in the
That's just how world football has been divided.
It's been divided. You've got your UEFA side in Europe. You also have the CONCACAF there. You also have the OFC. So they don't necessarily play together unless they find themselves in a competition. A competition like the World Cup, Olympics, or something like that. So, but FIFA decided, you know what, in order for us to be able to get this thing done differently, why don't we have a series where we can have these countries playing against each other across the different confederations. So you're able to get experience and be able to advance others. So the first one is supposed to start in 2026. That's the first one. So now we call it a guinea pig. That is the pilot version of it is now being played. So we have tournament, you have matches played. First series going to be played in Algeria. You got another one in Azerbaijan. You have another one in Egypt. You have also in Saudi Arabia. So you're going to have Saudi Arabia A and B. You also have Sri Lanka. So you got different, being played across. So
Sri Lanka bana le bolo.
how? Itu.
Ho ask
If
you.
India has football, Sri Lanka should have football.
I mean, come on. You understand what I'm asking?
No, understand it. You don't have for cricket mostly, but they do have football. So this is what is happening. So it's happening around the continent, around different parts of the world as well. It's happening at the moment. So it's a very good idea, I believe. It's a brilliant idea indeed.
Well, as the weeks go by, we will be dissecting the FIFA series to make sure that you're up to speed and you understand what exactly it means. But also, if you're like me and you're curious as to what this will do for African football, then stay tuned to Fut-Afrique. For now, though, the draw for the Olympics has been done. We know as to who has been pitted where. Adelani has the full lowdown, so let's check in with him.
Ito and Brian, I'm getting into the spirit of Paris 2024, so don't be surprised if you hear me speaking some French today. Like my French friend taught me to say, comment allez-vous? The highly anticipated draw for the men's Olympic football tournament recently took place in Paris. Amongst the hosts of the prestigious draw was Ivorian icon Didier Drogba. 12 teams are already aware of the opponents that await them and in which group, while 4 teams are still yet to qualify. Remember that we are still waiting for the results of the AFC Under-23 Championships that will be taking place between the 15th of April to the 3rd of May. The top 3 teams from the championships will be tossed in one of the 4 groups, while the 4th place team will enter a playoff against Guinea. The winner of the AFC CAF playoff match will be placed in Group A. Exciting, isn't it? Now let me give you the teams that we can confirm and which groups they find themselves. In one of the mouth-watering clashes of Group A, Paris 2024 host nation France will play the first game of the tournament against the United States. France's only Olympic football title was won on US soil 40 years ago at Los Angeles 1984. 2-time Olympic champions Argentina were drawn in Group B, where they will face off against Morocco, Ukraine, and the 3rd-placed finisher in the upcoming 2024 AFC Under-23 Asian Cup. Barcelona 1992 champions Spain will play in Group C, while Paraguay, Mali, and Israel will meet the 2024 AFC Under-23 Asian Cup champions in Group D. Great football action awaits us all in the coming weeks. I will keep you posted. And again, like my French friends taught me to say, à notre prochain, au revoir.